Hey everyone. So today I am not opening packs. This is a sort of bit of my collection, and then it ties into what I've decided to narrow my focus to, at least for a while, in terms of card collecting. I grew up between 1980 and 1990. I was 5 to 15 years old, and so that for me obviously is the sweet spot for sports and childhood hobbies. And so I was big into baseball cards in the 80s. I had tens of thousands. It was a huge thing in my town amongst my group of friends. So there's definitely the nostalgia aspect. And I also like the 80s because it was just a bit more innocent. For the most part, until the late 80s, the card markets were not getting oversaturated by producers. There was, anywhere between 3 to 4 to 5 sets that you had to keep track of. It was pretty much agreed upon for any given rookie, which 2 or 3 rookies were the rookies that you were trying to find. And so I love the new stuff. I love the 2018, 19, 2020 stuff that's coming out. There's so many parallel sets, the variations, inserts, and so on, that it sometimes starts to feel a little bit daunting for someone who's kind of a completionist, like putting together complete sets of things. So I decided I could probably, with the beginnings that I've got, take a shot at putting together all of the key rookies from the 1980s, from the key sets. So first off, in terms of sets, the sets that I find compelling are every 1980s top set except 1986 tops, which didn't really have any major rookies in it anyway. The Donruss sets between 1984 and 1987. And then the Fleer sets between 1983 and 1987, let's say. All of the other sets I just don't find appealing for lots of different reasons, the ones that I left out of that grouping. So here's what I have so far, just from collecting over the years and decades. Here's a Tim Raines Hall of Famer rookie, and most of these rookies will be Hall of Famers. Some of them, as you can see here, Dwight Gooden are not, but they were just phenomenal in the 80s, and still some of my favorite players. In terms of 82 tops, just the Lee Smith rookie. 83 tops I have covered. I have the Tony Gwynn and the Ryne Sandberg and the Wade Boggs. I have that entire set. I just pulled out the rookies. In terms of 84, Fleer, I have the Strawberry and Donruss. This is one of the big ones. I have the Don Mattingly. Then into 85, here's a Gooden. That's the only good rookie from 85 tops I have. Same thing in 85 Donruss. All of 86 is represented by Fred McGriff here from the 86 Donruss set. And 87 was when I really got into collecting heavily, so I have much better coverage of cards from 87, Larkin, Bo Jackson from the Donruss set, of course Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire from the top set. And then getting into the late 80s, where I start to become a little less interested. Nevertheless, Ravi Alomar from the 88 Donruss set, the 89 top set, there's Schmaltz and Biggio. 89 Donruss, which is, again, already a set I don't enjoy, and I'm just, to be, again, completionist, to have the 80s in here. There's a Schilling. 89 Upper Deck, of course, everyone loves. There's a Schmaltz and the Johnson, Gary Sheffield, Craig Biggio, and the Ken Griffey. So obviously, the Griffey is one of the big rookies. I would say all 3 of these guys from the 80s. You got your Don Mattingly. Those are the big ones that I have, and what's missing here is the Cal Ripken from Topps. And I'm also not so interested in collecting the update sets, especially when you're talking about like 84 Fleer update. That is just wildly expensive, way out of my price range at this point. So I'm just kind of sticking to the mainstream regular edition sets. But so you're missing the Ripken from 82, the Rickey Henderson from 1980. Those are the 2 big ones. But then beyond that, the 86 Donruss Canseco, the 85 Topps Mark McGwire, and then I guess you would say like the Mattingleys that I don't have, the Griffies that I don't have, are some of the bigger ones. But other than that, almost all the other rookies that I'm missing can be had for, I would say, $5 to $15, like the decent stuff in good condition. So I think this is, and I'm not in any rush to put this together within a week or two, but I think this is a doable kind of card quest. And I also think that, there's the 80s nostalgia is going to live on as long as there are Gen X people walking the earth. This group of guys is generally untainted by the steroids era until we get up into obviously McGwire and Bonds, but the earlier guys especially I think are going to hold their value and just maintain their value because it reminds people of a sort of more innocent time before all of the badness of steroids entered into the sport. So yeah, that's I would say occasionally when I grow this collection, I'll provide some updates. And probably the next time around, I'll be opening some more packs in a video. So that's it.